Brian Moran, founder of Government CIO. Welcome to Government CIO Magazine.
Hi, this is Olivia Ung with Government CIO Magazine. Today we'll be chatting with John B. Owens II, Chief Information Officer of the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
The changes in culture here at the USPTO have been dramatic. When I first arrived, many of the legacy systems and the environment had been significantly and seriously neglected. After the development of a modernization roadmap, we fixed that structure after approximately 5 years and a $250 million investment. And then we moved on to change the culture here as well as educate the employees in modern ways of systems engineering and development to include developing our own internal cloud, embracing both the Google and Amazon clouds, rewriting some of our most important examination software for patents and trademarks on those environments using modern standards with a modern philosophy of engineering and development known as Agile. And now we have moved on into embracing what's known as DevOps, which is rapid delivery of those environments and systems. AOL was one of the best experiences of my life. General Electric was fantastic. I got to work on the Seawolf submarine and the refit of the 688 sonar systems while there, and that was very interesting. But AOL, at the time I joined in '95, was the cutting edge of what was to become the internet. AOL broke ground on a lot of things before anyone else. We housed millions of customers simultaneously online, instant messaging, collaboration. We were even the first to do video instant messaging over the AIM tool. And what it taught me was the best processes and standards that I have adopted here today. When I left there, we were doing agile development. We were, of course, in a completely virtualized environment, housed by ourselves. And we met and dealt with problems of scale that no one else had ever dealt with before. And in fact, I think the current CEO came in and was astounded when he discovered how much had been done at AOL, and AOL quietly just did it and kept going. All of those ideas, concepts, and standards that are now developed into what is known as agile development and DevOps are foundationally what AOL did. And of course, a lot of others have added and expanded them to real capabilities throughout the world, not just in one place. And that is part of what I have brought here to this job. I was asked when I was first interviewed, what are you going to do different than your 4 predecessors that we didn't like? And I said, well, I'm not going to do it the government way. I'm going to bring the industry in, and I'm going to use the industry standards, and I'm going to get some things done for you. And I did. Because we are user fee funded and user fees are like that of a normal business, we have variable years of funding. So since I've been here in 2008, some years, 2 of them, we've actually gotten the funding that we've asked for. Other years, we've gotten less, some years a lot less. So in a normal federal agency, if you ask for X, you will more than likely get X, or you'll know well in advance you didn't get that amount of money and what was cut and so on. But it is a lot more stable throughout year over year. Recently in the American Invents Act, we received the ability to have what's equivalent to a savings account. Since our money is fee funded, it's no year. We are able to take excess fees for 1 year if we have them, and put them into the savings account for those years where we don't. Unfortunately, the organization's appetite for IT is insatiable. And we are in quite a deficit of technology debt. So we are using funds at a much greater rate to try to make up some of that time. But it's no different than being in industry, really, because fees, of course, at AOL, for example, were variable, except you can't borrow and you can't find other funding in other ways. Well, fundamentally, without technology, examination would stop. We are well beyond one's capability to walk into a room, look up paper patents, and do their research in a library. I mean, the volume of growth in the office is orders of magnitude different than it was even in the 1970s. And so the rapid growth of technology, the rapid growth of the amount of data, including non-patent literature, and a patent examiner would have to search through, is overwhelming. I mean, it's just overwhelming. So the ways of the past, which were here prior to, I guess, the year 2000, where we still used paper examination, are long since gone. The reliance on technology is complete. We will never go back to the pencil. So everything from the research, the volumes of the internet, plus other international offices and patents and various treaties and so on would bridge those offices together. International filings and so on require the systems to be available to do the actual research, and then the corresponding office actions related to examination to either approve or not a patent. Trademark's in a very similar place, though the volume of data is not as great. It is the internet that sets the standard for brands today. So someone would file for a trademark, and the trademark examiner not only looks in the trademark database, but also the entire internet for anyone else anywhere in the world that may have used a similar mark. And as the internet has grown, so has the volume of that research as well. So without technology, we could not perform our basic duties here at the USPTO, which is patent and trademark examination. And of course, my part of the statute as the Chief Information Officer is the dissemination of that data to the world. And take that seriously, because that data is then used to do enforcement, to make sure that our intellectual property here is protected. But it's also used for innovation, particularly on patent side, because if someone can read a patent that's already developed, they may have an idea that builds upon it, and that, of course, is also patentable. So I see the United States Patent and Trademark Office as a leader in innovation for the federal government as well as the world. I would like to see our office become masters of agile development and, of course, the masters of DevOps, so both rapid development and rapid delivery of products and services. I originally thought it was going to take 7 years to rebuild our infrastructure and rewrite all the software that I couldn't buy, but that is, of course, inaccurate. I believe that my current timeline has us doing this by 2020, which would mean that by 2020 the legacy systems would be turned off, including those dated all the way back to the 1970s, and all modern developed systems be available 24/7, not only to the examiners, but some necessary systems available to the public, including complete patent search. If you're applying for a patent and trademark, please keep applying. There's plenty of capacity here. Our backlog for patents is going down. Of course, our examination has never been better for trademarks. As far as other CIOs and leaders, don't be afraid to buck the system. I came from industry. Most of those that I've hired on my senior staff have come from industry. There are those of us that want to make a difference, even with the constraints. And the constraints are largely workable. I hear, well, I can't do it in my work because all the time from CIOs. But none of them have ever tried it. And I bet them all the time that if they tried, maybe they can't do everything that we've done here, but they can do much of it. And it does take someone to with a intestinal fortitude to buck the system, but it can be done, and the results can be shown. And I think both our nation and the people of the world expect a strong leadership from the United States in how we do things and make things better, including the, $11 billion we spend on technology a year. In fact, one of the things that bothers me the most is we spend more money on technology than anywhere else. We should be the best after spending $11 billion a year at technology. Industry should come to us and say, how do you do it right? And I think one day they could, if we embrace some of the things that industry has done to make things better and then grow upon.